Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a look at what's in my tech travel bag. Over the last few months, my wife and I have been traveling a little bit, and during these trips we've learned a few tricks on what to take and what to leave behind. This video will mostly focus on the technology items that we take, and if you know me, you know most of my technology items revolve around photography. However, not all of these items are specifically for photography, and I'm sure everyone can benefit from some of these. So obviously, the most important thing for me is my DSLR. I have the Nikon D750, and usually I pair it with the Nikon 24-105 f4 lens. I do have the 24-70, which I've taken in the past, but I find that this one, being lighter weight as well as that extra reach, is more ideal for travel photography. I also bring this black rapid strap, which helps me carry my D750 throughout the day. It's much more comfortable than the default Nikon strap, so I highly recommend it if you don't have one. The next lens that I bring is the 50mm f1.8. Now this is a very small lens, and it's not that much of a hassle to carry around, so it never hurts to have it on you. It always gives you those beautiful portraits, so if you ever need to take portraits, carry this with you. Sticking with the photography items, the next item that I carry is a speed light. Now this is not your typical size speed light. This is a Godox TT350N speed light, N for Nikon. And the special thing about this speed light is it's much smaller than a regular size speed light, and it only takes 2 AA batteries. And when you're traveling, you don't necessarily want to carry the largest items. An advantage of the Godox speed lights is that they already have built-in transceivers, so you don't have to carry an extra transceiver if you want to fire this flash off camera. Speaking of transceivers, I also carry this Godox wireless remote, which helps me fire that flash off camera if I wish to do so. To power both the flash as well as the wireless remote, I carry AA batteries. The particular brand that I use are Panasonic Eneloops. They have great ratings on Amazon, and they're widely known as some of the best rechargeable batteries you can buy. Speaking of batteries, this next item is something that every traveler must have in their bag: a power bank. This particular one is made by Anker, and it has 10,000 milliamp hour, which is about enough to charge an iPhone 2 to 3 times depending on which particular iPhone you have. And I've paired it with this 1-foot Anker Powerline Plus cable. I love Powerline Plus cables because first of all, they're very durable and they have lifetime warranty. So if you ever ran into those situations where your cable stopped working, they got you covered. Now that's not the only power bank I carry. I carry this other one, which is actually 26,800 milliamp hour. Now that's a weird number, I know, but there's a reason for that. It works out to about 100 watt hour, which is exactly the limit that you can take onto an airplane. And the reason I bring this one along is because it charges 3 devices at a time, and usually, depending on the hotel, you may not have a charging port right by your bed. And I usually charge both my and my wife's phones with this overnight rather than plugging it into the wall. Sticking with the theme of batteries, I also carry an extra Nikon battery. Depending on the trip, I may carry a couple more, but for the most part, I only need one extra along with the one that's already in the camera. When you have so many batteries, the next thing you have to worry about, how do you charge them? Now this particular tip is very helpful for traveling because you don't have to carry too many chargers. The idea is to make sure every one of your batteries charge via USB. So to do that, you have to find particular chargers sometimes to make sure that it can do that. So I have this AA battery charger which charges via USB, and this is very handy because I don't have to find another plug just to charge my AA batteries. Similarly, I have a Nikon battery charger, and this one charges 2 batteries at a time, and it also charges via USB. If you own a Nikon camera, you know that the charger that it comes with is very bulky and it requires you to plug it into the wall. That's really hard to deal with when traveling. The reason that you want to make sure that you have USB charging capabilities for all your electronics is because then you can take advantage of a device like this. This is a RAV-powered charging station. This has 4 USB ports to power all your USB devices. It also has a USB Type-C port, which you can plug laptops into to charge. And that can help you save a lot of space because you don't have to bring a laptop charger with you. So that's a big travel hack if you want to save some space. Now obviously the other part of charging all these devices is to carry those cables. Now I carry 2 lightning cables. Once again, they're the Anker Powerline series ones. They're very durable, as I said earlier. I also carry a USB Type-C cable to charge my laptop so that I don't have to carry my bulky laptop charger. Now the key to carrying all the right cables is to make sure that they're the right length. You don't want to be carrying extra long cables which can tangle into things. You want short, precise cables. So these ones are 1-foot micro USB cables that I use to charge Nikon batteries or my AA batteries or even the charging stations. I organize all my cables with these gear ties. They're reusable cable organizer that you could just tie cables together and just have them nice and neat. I also bring my Fitbit charger. You never know when that's going to run out of battery. Now the next item is probably the most unique and coolest item that I have. It's called a Mojix Power Doughnut. So what it is actually a power strip. So once you unwrap the cable, you get a nice lengthy cable to plug into the wall, and on the sides of these you can plug in any US plug. So it's very handy in those hotel rooms where they have one plug and it's not located in the most convenient location and you gotta plug in all your electronics. Highly recommend this. It also comes with this travel adapter that helps you plug into any other country that you may not have the plugs for. So you don't have to carry 20 different travel adapters, you can just carry one and plug all your devices into this one device. As you might already be able to tell, the key to this whole setup is to carry things that are compact and small. So I carry an Ethernet cable in case hotel Wi-Fi isn't good enough, and it's one of those that retract so it doesn't take up much space when I put it in my bag. If you're a photographer, you know one item that is starting to diminish from laptops, and that is SD card slots. So I carry this USB SD card reader which helps me transfer my photos to my laptop while traveling. I also carry this Nikon Remote in case I want to be in a photo and I don't have somebody to click the shutter for me. This is very handy for that. If you like to take photos of landscapes when traveling, I highly recommend carrying a polarizing filter. The one I have is a 77mm filter, and it fits both my 24-105 lens as well as my 24-70 lens, which I sometimes carry. Another thing you should probably carry when traveling are ponchos. You never know when it's going to start pouring, and you need something to cover you. I recommend carrying these disposable ones so that you can just throw them out when the rain stops and you don't have to worry about drying it out and whatnot. Microfiber cloth, always a must, because you gotta wipe those dust off the lenses. I organize all my cables and charging devices in these little pouches that helps me keep things organized. If you wear glasses, always carry an extra pair in addition to the pair that you're normally wearing. You don't want to be stranded with broken or lost glasses. Sunglasses, duh. Now this is an item that I highly recommend for anyone who travels on a plane. Noise cancelling headphones. Now I have the Bose QC35s. You can get any noise cancelling headphones and it's going to be better than nothing. It drowns out all the engine noise so you can listen to your podcast or your music or watch your movies without having to crank the volume up too much. On the theme of watching movies on the plane, this little cable is an audio splitter which lets you split the audio into two devices. So if you and your spouse or whoever you're traveling with wants to watch the same movie off of the laptop, you can use this little cable to split the audio into two different headphones. If you're renting a car at your destination, I highly recommend carrying these two items. This is a magnetic phone holder for the car, and this is a USB charger for the car. Some cars, believe it or not, still don't have USB charging capabilities, so highly recommend bringing one of these along with your charging cable. If you're traveling in a red-eye flight, I recommend bringing one of these eye masks to help you sleep. The person next to you might turn on their reading light and it may be really hard to sleep, so this definitely helps. Another must-have item for photographers is a tripod. Now the tripod that I have is the Vanguard Vo Tripod. It folds down to a really compact size and it's very sturdy. I normally put this in my full-size carry-on, so I'm not bringing it on my personal item, but it's definitely worth bringing along, especially if you want to take some long exposures and whatnot. Speaking of tripods, I have this Manfrotto Pixie tripod, which is actually not only a tripod but can be used as a selfie stick. I bring this along if I plan on vlogging. I usually mount my iPhone on it. One thing that's not on the table right now is actually what I'm using on top of my camera right now is my Rode Video microphone. Typically I put it on top of my iPhone when I'm vlogging and it helps me get better audio for vlogs. And all of these go into this guy. It's the Lowepro AW200. I think it's part of their Fast Pack series. The best thing about this bag is that it actually meets the personal item requirement. So if you're traveling on an airline which only lets you take personal items and no full-size carry-on, it will fit under your seat and you don't have to worry about checking it. Some other items that I carry in my bag are my laptop. I use it mostly to upload photos on here, so I have some redundancy while I'm traveling. And also my mouse. Now this particular mouse is the Logitech MX Anywhere mouse. And I have the Logitech MX Master that I use at home and both at work. And I just love it. And this one is a much smaller alternative, has very similar features, and is very easy to carry. I'm going to be putting Amazon affiliate links to all the items that I've mentioned in this video in the description below. I hope you found this video informative and hopefully you picked up some tips for your own travel tech bag. And if you like this video, make sure to like the video and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.